Next, I am going to discuss about motion in a vertical circle. Let us consider a bob of a simple pendulum suspended by a string from a fixed point to the point of suspension. The bob is suspended by inextensible light string forming a simple pendulum of length L. Let us suppose the bob is given an initial velocity of magnitude u in the horizontal direction at the lowest position, so that the bob can move under the influence of gravity in a vertical circular path. Let us suppose the initial velocity given to the bob is sufficiently large so that the bob can continuously move in the vertical circular path. So all of you just now you concentrate only to listen. Don't write any notes when I am discussing the theory part. So I will be showing you the PowerPoint presentation of all the equations and formulae of the whole discussion separately. That means I will be showing you the notes separately. But at present you concentrate only to listen to my explanation. Don't write the running notes when I am explaining. So here I am considering the bob of simple pendulum suspended by a string from fixed point. Here I see the point of suspension which is fixed here. Let us suppose the bob is projected horizontally with initial velocity of magnitude u from the lowest position. Let us suppose the value of u is large enough so that the bob can rotate in the vertical circular path continuously in the absence of air resistance. So when there is no air resistance here, the bob is only under action of two forces. So at any instant, only two forces are acting on the bob. One is its weight mg, and second force is the tension force by the string on the bob. So at any instant, only two external forces act on the bob. One is its weight mg, which is the gravitational force on the bob at the earth. Second force is the tension force by the string on the bob. The tension force by the string on the bob acts along the string and away from the bob. That means the tension force exerted by the string on the bob acts towards the point of suspension. Here I am discussing the motion of the bob of simple pendulum in the vertical circular path under the action of only these two forces mg and t in the absence of air resistance and friction. So here the tension force by the string of the bob continuously acts perpendicular to the instantaneous velocity of the bob. The tension force exerted by the string of the bob continuously acts perpendicular to the instantaneous velocity of the bob. Therefore, no work is done by the tension force in the string. So work is done only by the gravitational force of the bob. So the gravitational force of the bob is a conservative force. Therefore, when the bob moves only under the influence of these two forces mg and t, then we can say the total mechanics of the bob remains constant. When work is done only by conservative force on the body and no work is done by other forces which are not conservative, then the total mechanics of the body remains constant. So now I am going to discuss how to find the magnetic velocity of the bob at any instant during the motion in the vertical circular path and how to find the magnitude of tension in the string at different instants when the bob moves in the vertical circular path. So here we are discussing the motion of the bob of simple pendulum in a vertical circular path when it is under action of only two forces mg and t, such that the total mechanical of the bob remains constant. The total mechanical energy of the bob at any instant is equal to sum of its kinetic energy and gravitational potential energy. Here TME means total mechanical of the bob, KE means kinetic energy of the bob, GP means gravitational potential of the bob. So that remains constant during the motion. Here the bob is moving in the vertical plane. So gravitational potential energy of the bob will be minimum at the lowest position because it will be at smaller height above the ground. The gravitational potential of the bob will be maximum at the instant when it reaches the highest position. When the total mechanical energy of the bob is constant, the kinetic energy of the bob reaches the maximum value at the instant when the gravitational potential of the bob is minimum, because sum of the two forms of the mechanical energy is constant. And kinetic energy of the bob reaches the minimum value at the instant and the gravitational potential of the bob reaches the maximum value. Again, I tell you, you concentrate only to listen, don't write running notes when I am explaining. So kinetic of the bob will be minimum at the instant when gravitational potential of the bob is maximum. So gravitational potential of the bob is minimum at the lowest position. Therefore, kinetic energy of the bob is maximum at the lowest position. Therefore, in the present discussion, the maximum speed of the bob during the motion is equal to the speed given to the bob at the lowest position. So kinetic energy is maximum at the lowest position. So magnetic velocity of speed is maximum at the lowest position. So when speed is maximum at the lowest position, magnetic of centripetal force of the bob is also maximum at the lowest position. Magnetic of centripetal force of the bob is equal to mv square by r. The gravitational potential of the bob will be maximum at the instant when the bob reaches the highest position. That is, the gravitational potential of the bob will be maximum at the instant when the bob is at the maximum vertical height above the ground. So gravitational potential of the bob will be maximum at the instant when it reaches the highest position. Therefore, kinetic energy of the bob will be minimum at the instant when it reaches the highest position. So magnetic velocity of the bob will be minimum at the instant when it reaches the highest position. Now first I would like to tell you how we can find magnetic velocity at any particular height h above the lowest position. So at the particular instant, the bob reaches at some height h above the lowest position. We can apply the conservation of mechanical energy. Total mechanical energy of the bob at the instant when it is at vertical height h above the lowest position must be same as the total mechanical energy of the bob at the lowest position. We can assume that the gravitational potential of the bob to be 0 at the lowest position. So at the lowest position, kinetic energy of the bob, we can write half mu square, where m is the mass of the bob and u is the magnetic velocity given to the bob in the horizontal direction at the lowest position. Take gravitational potential of the bob to 0 at the lowest position. So at the instant when it reaches some height h above the lowest position, let v denote the magnetic velocity of the bob. So kinetic energy of the bob at this position, at the instant when it is at a vertical height h above the lowest position, is half mv square. So gravitational potential of the bob at this position can be written mgh with respect to lowest position as the reference position. So you can multiply this equation with 2 and divide the equation with m. That means you can multiply the equation with 2 by m. Or you may write the same equation in this way, half m into v square minus u square equal to minus mgh, which also represent the work energy theorem. Change in the kinetic energy of the bob as it moves from the lowest position to this particular position equal to work done by the gravitational force of the bob. The work done by the gravitational force of the bob when it rises through a vertical height h near the earth's surface is equal to minus mgh. That means you can as well write this equation directly even from work energy theorem. Because no work is done by the tension force in the string on the bob, then work is done only by the gravitational potential and gravitational force of the bob. Then change in the kinetic of the bob can be witnessed work done by the gravitational force of the bob. So you multiply the equation with 2 by m, you get v square minus u square equal to minus 2 h. So square of the magnetic velocity when it is at height h, vertical height h above the lowest position can be written as u square minus 2j h. So this equation can be used to find the value of v at a height h above the lowest position when you are given the value of u at the lowest position. You can also express h in terms of L and theta, which I explained earlier in work per energy chapter. So at the instant when the string makes some angle theta with a downward vertical, the vertical height of center of mass of the bob above the lowest position can be written as L into 1 minus cos theta, which I explained earlier. And this equation will also be used in some of the problems which we discuss in future in motion a vertical circle. Next, I would like to discuss how to find magnitude of the centripetal force on the bob and magnitude of tension in the string at different positions. At any instant, only two forces act on the bob. One is its weight mg and second one is the tension force by the string. So at the lowest position, the weight mg of the bob acts away from center of circular path. Here the center of circular path in which the bob moves coincide with the point of suspension of string. Let T1 denote the magnitude of the tension in the string at the lowest position. And let V1 denote the magnitude of velocity at the lowest position. That means U equal to V1 here. So at the lowest position, again I tell you concentrate only to listen, don't write running notes when I am explaining. You will be shown the notes separately. So at the lowest position, centripetal force on the bob, magnitude of the centripetal force on the bob is equal to magnitude of the resultant force towards center of circular path. At the instant when the bob is passing through the lowest position, the tension force by the string on the bob acts towards center of circular path. The weight mg acts away from center of circular path. So magnitude of the resultant for the bob towards center of circular path is equal to T1 minus mg. From Newton's second law, magnitude of this resultant force on the bob at the lowest position is equal to product of the mass of the bob and magnitude of the acceleration. So the magnitude of centripetal force on the bob at the lowest position is equal to T1 minus mg. Where T1 is the magnitude of the tension of the string at the lowest position. From Newton's second law, this will be equal to product of mass of the bob and magnitude of its acceleration. Magnitude of acceleration is equal to v square by r. Product of mass and magnitude of acceleration towards center of circular path. Magnitude of acceleration towards center of circular path equal to v square by r. We write v equal to v1 at the lowest position. So magnitude of the tension of the string at the lowest position will be equal to mg plus mv1 square by r. So T1 minus mg equal to mv1 square by r. So magnitude of tension of the string at the lowest position can be written as mg plus mv1 square by r. So maximum tension on the string at the lowest is the tension in the string at the lowest position. Or mg plus mu square over r you can write. Of course, radius of circular path in this case can be taken as equal length of the simple pendulum. Now at the instant when the bob reaches the highest position, of course at any instant only two forces act on the bob. The tension force by the string on the bob always acts along the string and away from the bob. As I discussed in connecting bodies in Newton's laws of motion, when a body is suspended by a string, the tension force by the string on the body always acts along the string and away from the body. So the tension force by the string on the bob acts vertically downwards at the instant when the bob reaches the highest position. Let V2 denote the magnitude of velocity at the highest position. So weight mg of the bob acts vertically downwards at all the instant during the motion. That means at the instant when the bob reaches the highest position, both the tension force by the string and the weight mg of the bob both act vertically downwards in the same direction towards the center of circular path. So magnitude of the resultant force acting on the bob towards center of circular path is equal to T2 plus mg, where T2 is the magnitude of the tension in the string at the highest position of the bob. So at the highest position of the bob, the magnitude of the centripetal force on the bob is equal to T2 plus mg. According to Newton's second law, the magnitude of the resultant force of the bob towards center of circular path is equal to product of the mass of the bob and magnitude of its acceleration towards center. Magnitude of acceleration towards center is equal to v square by r. The magnitude of velocity at the highest position are denoted by V2. So magnitude of tension in the string at the highest position is equal to mv2 square by r minus mg. As I was discussing earlier, the kinetic energy of the bob is minimum at the highest position. So magnitude of velocity v is minimum at the highest position. Magnitude of tension in the string is also minimum at the highest position. So I would like to find the difference between T1 and T2 when the bob rotates in the vertical circular path continuously under the action of the two forces mg and tension, so the total mechanical energy remains constant. So I subtract this T2 from T1 here. So T1 minus T2 is equal to mg plus mv1 square by r minus of mv2 square by r minus mg. Can simplify this yourself. So here from this last equation I have written, when you subtract T2 from T1 you get T1 minus T2 equal to 2mg plus m by r into v1 square minus v2 square. Now we can find the relation between the two velocities v1 and v2 from this equation, which is obtained from conservation of mechanical energy. That means here u in place of from this equation you can write u square minus v square equal to gh. U magnitude of initial velocity at the lowest position and can be denoted by v1 in the earlier discussion. Magnitude of velocity at the highest position denoted by v2. That means u equal to v1 and v equal to v2. The vertical height of the bob between the lowest and highest positions. The vertical height of the bob between the lowest and highest position is equal to 2L or 2R. equal diameter of circular path. So when the bob moves from the lowest position to the highest position, it rises through a vertical height h equal to 2r. So you have to take h equal to 2r when you take v equal to vt. That means we can say that v equal to v2 at the instant h equal to 2r and u is v1. So you get v1 square minus v2 square. That is the difference between the square of the magnetic velocity at the lowest position, square of the magnetic velocity at the highest position is equal to 4gr. Can substitute this value here in this equation. Can substitute v1 square minus v2 square equal to 4gr here on the right side. Don't write running notes when I am explaining. I will show you the notes separately. You can write the notes later. So m by r into v1 square minus v2 square equal to 4gr. R gets cancelled. So 2mg plus 4mg. That means the difference between the magnitude of the tension at the lowest position and magnitude of the tension at the highest position is equal to 6 times the magnitude of the weight of the bob. Magnitude of tension is maximum at the lowest position. Magnitude of tension is minimum at the highest position. That is, magnitude of the maximum value of the tension exceeds the magnitude of the minimum value of the tension by 6 times the magnitude of the weight of the bob. And magnitude of velocity is maximum at the lowest position, and magnitude of velocity is minimum at the highest position. So magnitude of velocity at maximum speed at the lowest position, v maximum square you can write minus v minimum square equal to 4gr or 4gl from this equation. Sometimes you are given problems on calculation of maximum and minimum tensions or comparing the maximum and minimum tensions. Then you can use this equation and this equation or this equation. These two. That means most of the problems in motion vertical circle can be solved. Almost all the problems in motion vertical circle can be solved by using basically two equations. One is the equation for centripetal force or dynamics equation. And the other one is the law of conservation of energy. That is this equation based on conservation of energy. If you are given the angle theta at a particular instant, we use this equation. Next, I would like to discuss what should be the minimum velocity the bob must have to complete a vertical circle. So magnitude of the tension is maximum at the lowest position and minimum at the highest position. For the bob to rotate in the vertical circular path continuously, the magnitude of velocity should be greater than 0 at all the instants. And magnitude of the tension of the string should also be greater than 0 at all the instants. That means for the bob of the simple pendulum to rotate in the vertical circular path continuously, there are two conditions to be required. The magnitude of velocity should be greater than 0 at all the instants during the motion, and magnitude of the tension the string should be greater than 0 at all the instants. The tension the string becomes 0 at a particular position, then the string slackens at that particular position. String slackens means it becomes loose. The string becomes loose or slackens at the particular position when tension becomes 0. So for the bob of the pendulum to rotate in the circular path in the vertical plane continuously, the string should remain taut or straight at all the instants throughout the motion. The string remains taut or straight at all the instants. That means the string does not slacken, does not become loose at any position if the tension of the string is greater than 0 at all the instants. So magnitude of the tension, as I said, is minimum at the highest position. For example, if the magnitude of the tension of the string at the highest position is 1 Newton, then magnitude of the tension of the string at any other instant will be greater than 1 Newton. Suppose the magnitude of the tension of the string at the highest position is 1 Newton, then magnitude of the tension on the string at any other instant during the motion will be more than 1 Newton. That means the magnitude of the tension on the string will be greater than 0 at all the instants if T2 is greater than 0. That is magnitude of the tension at the highest position is greater than 0. And magnitude of velocity will be greater than 0 at all the instants if V2 is greater than 0. Now magnitude of tension T2 at the highest position, as we have calculated, mv2 square by r minus mg. So to rotate in the vertical circular path continuously, the magnitude of the tension of the string at the highest position should be greater than 0. Can write T2 equal to mv2 square by r minus mg. So T2 will be greater than 0 at all the instants if mv2 square by r is greater than mg, or v2 square should be greater than gr, or v2 must be greater than root gr. So to rotate in the vertical circular path continuously, the magnitude of velocity at the highest position should be greater than root gr. Or the minimum critical speed the bob must have at the highest position to just complete a vertical circle can be written as equal to root gr. Of course, the magnitude of velocity v2 at the highest position depends on the magnitude of velocity v1 given to the bob at the lowest position. The magnitude of velocity of the bob at the instant when it reaches the highest position depends on the magnitude of the initial velocity given to the bob at the lowest position. v1 and v2 are related by this equation. v1 square minus v2 square equal to 4gr. So from the same equation, you can write v2 square equal to v1 square minus 4gr. Here v2 square should be greater than gr. I mean, for the bob to rotate in the vertical circular path continuously, v2 square should be greater than gr. That means v1 square minus v2 square can be written as equal to v1 square minus 4gr. That should be more than gr. So v1 square should be greater than gr plus 4gr or 5gr. So bob can rotate in the vertical circular path continuously. The magnitude of the velocity, initial speed given to the bob in the horizontal direction, the magnitude of the velocity given to the bob in the horizontal direction of the lowest position is greater than root 5gr. So the bob of simple pendulum can rotate in the vertical circular path continuously. The magnitude of the initial velocity given to the bob at the lowest position is more than root 5gr. That means the minimum linear speed the bob must be given, or magnitude of the minimum initial velocity if the bob should be given in the horizontal direction at the lowest position so that it can complete a vertical circle is equal to root 5gr. So next I am going to summarize the whole discussion I have done so far about motion in a vertical circle. So I would like to summarize the entire discussion. I am going to show you the notes for the discussion which I have done so far, motion in a vertical circle. So those who are writing the notes, again come on, you get ready with your notebook and pen. I am going to show you the notes for motion in a vertical circle and also summarize all the conclusions. First I will show you the summary of all the conclusions of my discussion about this motion in a vertical circle. Later I will show you the working or calculation part which may be needed in subject to questions. So look at the screen now. I am going to show you the notes for what I have discussed so far about motion in a vertical circle. Look at the screen. I am going to read out all the conclusions first, which you directly use in good number of examples. We'll discuss in assignment in circular motion. Look at the screen. I'm going to read out the conclusions. Consider the bob of a simple pendulum suspended by a string which moves in a vertical path continuously such that its total mechanical energy remains constant. I mean vertical circular path. Better you write there, those who are writing the notes, you write here circular. vertical circular path continuously such that its total mechanical energy remains constant. So I'm going to show you the list of the conclusions. Then first one, circular motion is not uniform when total mechanical energy is constant because speed is not the same at all points. Circular motion is said to be uniform when speed is uniform. So in the present discussion, circular motion is not uniform. The second conclusion, the linear speed of the bob and magnitude of the tension of the string are maximum at the lowest position and minimum at the highest position. So those who are writing the notes, come on, take a pause and complete writing the notes up to here. Next, I am going to show you the continuation for this. Third point, the difference between magnitude of the maximum and minimum values of tension of the string, 6 times the weight of the bob. Fourth point, so if you are going to copy this third point, you first finish copying this. That means T maximum and minus T minimum. As explained, difference between the maximum value of the magnitude of the tension, minimum value of the magnitude of the tension is equal to 6 times the magnitude of the weight of the bob. You can take a pause and write this point. Next, I am going to show the continuation for this. The minimum linear speed the bob must have at the highest position to just complete a vertical circle is root gr. And for this, the minimum linear speed the bob must have at the lowest position to just complete a vertical circle is root phi gr. The small r is the radius of the circular path. Come on, finish writing up to here. In case you need more time to write the notes, you can take a pause and write the notes. Next, I am going to show you the next point. That means the notes for what I have discussed so far. That is the calculation part. At lowest position, figure shows the free body diagram for the bob at the lowest position. The weight mg acts downwards. T1 is the magnitude of the tension in the string at the lowest position. Magnitude of centripetal force of the bob. You can put modulus symbol on the left hand side. That is modulus of centripetal force of the bob at the lowest position. T1 minus mg. That is equal to mv1 square by r, where v1 is the magnitude of the velocity of the bob at the lowest position. Come on, finish writing. So you can write T1 equal to mg plus mv1 square by r. So in case you need more time to copy this, you can take a pause and finish writing. So I am going to show you the continuation for this. So figure shows the free body diagram for the bob at the highest position. T2 is the magnitude of tension in the string at the highest position. The weight mg of the bob and tension T2 both act vertically downwards when the bob reaches the highest position. The magnitude of the velocity at the highest position is denoted by V2. So at the highest position, the modulus or magnitude of centripetal force on bob is equal to T2 plus mg, that is equal to mv2 square by r. Or T2 you can write mv2 square by r minus mg. So T1 minus T2. T1 is the magnitude of tension at the lowest position, which explained can be written as mg plus mv1 square by r. Will be equal to T1 minus T2 mg plus mv1 square by r minus within brackets mv2 square by r minus mg. Come on, if you are not finished copying, please take a pause and finish writing up to this step. I'm going to show the continuation for this. So from law of conservation of energy, total mechanical energy at the lowest position is equal to total mechanical energy when it is at the vertical height h above the lowest position. So total mechanical at the lowest position is equal to kinetic energy at the lowest position, which is equal to half mu square. I have taken gravitational potential energy at the lowest position as 0. V is the magnetic velocity at a height h above the lowest position. So kinetic energy at a height h above the lowest position is half mv square. Gravitational potential energy of the bob at the instant when it is a vertical height h above the lowest position can be written as mgh. Or you get u square equal to v square plus 2gh, or u square minus v square equal to 2gh, or you can write v square equal to u square minus 2gh. So if u equal to v1 in the present discussion, so v will be equal to v2 at h equal to 2r. That means at the instant bob reaches the highest position, the height of the bob above the lowest position can be taken as 2r. So h can be taken as 2r. Then you write v equal to v2. That means this equation we have used here. Of course, by using this equation, you can find the magnetic velocity. By using this equation, you can find magnetic velocity at any particular height h above the lowest position, not only at the highest position. You can find the value of v at any particular point in its path between the lowest position and highest position. So you get v1 square minus v2 square equal to 4gr. Come on. Those who are writing the notes, they can take a pause and finish writing the notes up to here. So next I am going to show the continuation for this. So as I discussed earlier, T1 minus T2 you will get mv1 square minus v2 square by r plus 2mg. So I advise every student, particularly those students who are in junior intermediate now, first year intermediate or 11th class, to write the notes. Of course, those who have completed first year and those who are in second year or senior intermediate or 12th class, for them it will be, they may be already familiar with these discussions to some extent at least. So it will be just a revision. So it may not be that necessary for them to write the notes, but it will be always better if you write the notes so that you can have better understanding and more clarity of all the concepts and equations. So you can substitute v1 square minus v2 square equal to 4gr. So you get T1 minus T2 equal to 6mg. T1 is the magnitude of maximum tension in the string during the motion of vertical circular path equal to T1. Magnitude of minimum tension in the string at the highest position equal to T2. Come on, all of you finish writing up to here. In case you need more time, you can take a pause and take your time. I am going to show the continuation. To rotate in vertical circle, T2 is greater than 0, should be greater than 0 at all the instants. I mean, T2 is the magnitude of tension in the string at the right point, that should be greater than 0. If T2 is greater than 0, it implies that magnitude of tension at any other instant is also greater than 0. T2 can be written as mv2 square by r minus mg, that should be greater than 0, or mv2 square by r should be greater than mg, or v2 square should be greater than gr, or v2 must be greater than root gr. We have v1 square minus v2 square equal to 4gr. Come on, all of you finish writing the notes up to here. Of course, on the right side, I have shown you the diagram showing the lowest position and highest position. The magnitude of tension at the lowest position is denoted by T1 here. And vertical height between the lowest and highest positions is equal to the diameter of circular path. Is equal to 2 times the radius of circular path. In case you need more time to copy the notes, you can take a pause and copy the notes. So V2 square we can write equal to V1 square minus 4GR. To rotate in circular path, vertical circular path continuously, as we discussed, V2 square should be greater than GR. For that, V2 square should be greater than GR, means V1 square minus 4GR should be greater than GR. Or V2 square should be greater than 4GR plus GR. Or we can, V1 square should be greater than 4GR plus GR. That means V1 square should be greater than 5GR. Or V1 must be greater than root 5GR. So magnitude of the minimum velocity the bob must have at the lowest position to complete a vertical circle is square root of 5GR. So next I would like to discuss how we can find the magnitude of the tension. In case you are not finished writing the notes, you can take a pause and finish writing the notes up to here first. Next I would like to discuss how we can find magnitude of the tension of the string at any other position. When the string suppose makes an angle theta with a downward vertical. So at any instant, only two forces act on the bob here. One is its weight mg, which acts vertically downwards. And second force is the tension force by the string on the bob, which acts towards the point of suspension. So in the present discussion, the bob of the simple pendulum is rotating in the vertical circular path, so that point of suspension coincides with center of circular path. So at the instant when the string makes an angle theta with the downward vertical, you can show the free body diagram for the bob as shown in the figure. To find magnitude of centripetal force of the bob, that means we have to find the net force of the bob in the direction along the string and towards center of circular path. Resolve the weight mg of the bob into rectangular components. Into two rectangular components along the string and perpendicular length of string. The line of action of the weight mg is parallel to this vertical line passing through point of suspension. So when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then the alternating angles will be equal. So this will be also theta. So this will also be theta. So can resolve the weight mg into components. Now we can stop writing here. Just listen now. I will show you the notes for the continuation this little later. Please stop writing now. Just concentrate to listen. The component mg cos theta acts along the string and away from center of circular path. The component mg sin theta acts tangential to circular path. So magnitude of the centripetal force of the bob at the instant when the string makes an angle theta with a downward vertical is equal to T minus mg cos theta. That you can write mv square by r, where v is the magnitude of the velocity of the bob at this instant and r is the radius of the circular path. So from this equation you can find centripetal force of the bob or magnitude of tension in the string at any position in the circular path by substituting the value of theta for that particular position and the value of v at that instant. Of course, the component mg sin theta acts tangential to circular path. So magnitude of the tangential force on the bob in this position will be mg sin theta. Magnitude of the tangential force can be written as mass into magnitude of the tangential acceleration. So magnitude of the tangential acceleration of the bob, we can write g sin theta. Of course, the tangential acceleration will be written as plus g sin theta when the tangential force mg sin theta acts in the direction of the velocity. That is when the bob is moving downwards towards the lowest position. And when the bob is moving upwards from lowest position to highest position, magnitude of velocity will be decreasing. Then tangential acceleration will be given negative sign mathematically when it is opposite to velocity. That means at will be written as minus g sin theta. when the component mg sin theta is opposite velocity. So you can even find the magnitude of tension at any other position from this equation. I will continue my discussion next class. You can write the notes for this in next class.